Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new or just clicked on this video, thank you very much. My name is Alexis and this is the Goddess of Daydreams Tarot. Today we are going to be doing a Kali Oracle reading considering the energies that are currently happening in the world. Maybe for some of you that may not be aware or are aware, we just got a new batch of Epstein files dropped, and people are really seeing the horrendous activities and behaviors that a lot of the elites have participated in and have pushing for society to accept. So I believe that Kali is a great deity to sort of seek out information and insight, because we are definitely going through some dark times, but we can find a way or a path or a direction on how to get out of this energy. And Kali is definitely the type of deity to do that. So with that said, let's just jump right in. Please take what resonates. And if you find that this information is useful and insightful, please share it with others. Okay, I had a feeling that this card was going to come out. So we have card 24, Matangi. So I have received this card a long time ago when I was in like my first year in my channel. Matangi is a very it kind of fits sort of the energy that we are kind of processing right now. This is card 24. You could be 24. You may know someone that is 24. Let me see, 24. This could be, when you add it up, 6. So could be a life path 6. You could know someone that's a life path 6. Take what resonates. Let's look behind the meaning of Matangi. She is the tantric queen of outcast, unveiling hidden inner power to thrive outside conventional society. She holds the secret teachings of the power of the voice, of the healing power of art and music. She is the divine feminine medicine for the lost, the alienated, those who have been cast aside. If you have been denied love and respect, she brings healing and empowerment. If you have suffered rejection, abandonment, or been labeled as unworthy in any way, she brings dignity and repair. She is the ignition of a creative, joyful, and vibrant life path. Excuse me. So, this is definitely big kind of outcast energy. And in a way, what we're kind of dealing with right now is that for majority of the society, we have been taught that if we are to be outcasted, you don't want to, actually, we have been taught you don't want to be an outcast in society. So you must follow the rules. You must bend to the will of others in order to be accepted in the world that you are in. However, that reality is now well, I'm not saying the reality, the illusion of that is breaking down. And what is being revealed is the real reality, where it was actually more safer to be the outcast rather than be in the illusions of society. Excuse me, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Something has definitely been messing with my communication, but I'm not going to let that bother me. Excuse me. So I kind of do like that Matangi is here, because she is just letting us know you need to embrace being outcast. Do not follow the rules or what's the word I'm looking for? Don't follow the rules and the social structures that the fake society wants us to accept or to live in or to be in. A lot of people have been talking about for quite a couple of days that a way with these files is to sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? condition the mind to accept that this behavior and that this lifestyle is appropriate, that you cannot do anything about it except accept it and move forward. Vatangi is saying no, it is time for you to break away from these energies, especially now, because we are going through a lot of massive transitions. You know, we're in Aquarius season. We're in the age of Aquarius. This is a new sort of shift for the collective. And the shift begins when people start rejecting the storyline, rejecting the way of life, rejecting that life is unfair, rejecting what they see as acceptable and casting it aside. So that way, the new energies, the new life forces, the new ways of living can come in, or at least the true way of living can start coming in. Give me a second. If you hear any noises in the background, don't worry, my family's cooking. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I'm being told right now that this, for the collective, this is a test, a massive test for the awaken. Either you acknowledge and accept the reality that you have been living in was an illusion for others to thrive off of your energy, or do you go back to sleep and continue to serve and help those who have indulged in the darkness for way too long? Let's start going in with some tarot. I feel like there's a lot of energies coming through the cards, but something is like trying to distort. But you know what? I am going to be pushing through. I also feel strongly with this card that she had definitely helped a lot of people who were labeled the conspiracy theorists, the schizo, the crazy. That was definitely outcast energy. So now she's coming in again to help those who are now awakening and rejecting the lifestyle and the way of living that society has forced us to either contribute or forced us to be in. So she's definitely an energy for the conspiracy theorists. And you know what? If you're still being labeled a conspiracy theorist, then this is going to be the time for you to embrace that title, because I mean, is it a theory anymore? Let's go into more details. Okay, I think I'm going to pull 5 cards for this. Too many. Oh, I'm being told right now, Matangi is also a help to... do I take this in reverse? Okay. Matangi is also here to help those that while you are being in the outcast energy, you are here to this, well, brain, get it together. While you are in this outcast energy, it's going to help you discover your power, your energy, your talents, because that is also that is what is going to help heal and bring humanity back as a whole, and for the collective to start working together. So right now, if you're like feeling overwhelmed and just like feel like nothing is going to be done, that is not true. There is plenty to be done. We just have to collect ourselves and kind of reassess what is going on. But it doesn't have to be like this forever. And it won't be like this forever. All right, let me get one more spirit. Hold on, cards are jumbling up. All right. Okay, very nice, very nice. Had a feeling that will come out. All right, we have swords. We have a lot of air energy here. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We also have a little bit of water energy. Anyway, let me get right into this reading. So the first card that I have is the Magician. This is the energy where the collective needs to start working at. If you are having an issue of where to even start, look to the Magician. This is a person who is profound in knowing their research. They're working with the resources, working with the knowledge that they have obtained and collected, working with the environment that they have moved through. Like for the Magician, it's like mastering their elements, mastering their power. And this is where the collective needs to be. And in order to be this way, we have to kind of get into that outcast energy. Reject, what's the word? Reject modernity. Come on, brain and tongue, work together. Reject modernity, or basically reject the modern ways and embrace tradition. What I kind of see here with this Magician card here is that we need to also start tapping into our magical talents, channels, and abilities. Because a lot of the stuff that we are seeing within these documents is a lot of ritualistic work. You know, a lot of consuming of the blood and the flesh, the offerings, the draining of the emotions and the energy. I have read in one of the files that the main culprit, for now, let's just say, he was interested that people can develop supernatural gifts if they are traumatized enough. That is somewhat like true and not true. Not just anyone can get powers through trauma, but trauma is a way to stress out somebody's power for them to drain. So with this Magician card here, another thing that you need to master other than your talents and your magic, you must discipline your emotional body. That is where the enemy and these dark forces tap into the most. When you are stressed, when you are depressed, when you have hopelessness, they come and drain your energy and keep you trapped in the illusion that they have set for society for like hundreds and hundreds of years. However, this is something that isn't permanent. The more we get in touch with our true selves, our true power, and start having emotional discipline and discipline our talents, then we'll be able to counteract these attacks, these illusions, these what's the word I'm looking for? These, the traps and the illusions that the dark collective, or I'll say more like the dark elite, have set. Now, next I have is the Star, but it is in reverse. So I'm kind of a little concerned with this energy because at this time that I am doing this reading, we are in Aquarius season, and this should be upright. But right now, given again the state of the mentality and energy of people, no one's really feeling the healing and the renewal that should be happening. Instead, what I'm seeing with this Star card is that a lot of people are really now allowing the dark collective, the elites, to really start drawing more and more on the energy. And again, it's because, don't get me wrong, reading these documents and these emails is very detrimental to the mindset. And if you do not have some type of, how can I put this? If you don't have some type of boundary or barrier set, then that energy is going to continue leaking out of you. And people that, tend to feed off of other people's energies are going to continue feeding off. What this star card in reverse is that the energy vampires, let's just say, are getting the upper hand right now. We need to reverse that energy, and we need to reverse that soon, because if not, then the changes that are need to happen are going to continue being delayed. I'm not saying that they won't happen. They will happen, but this will only cause a delay. So if you, or a loved one that is having a hard time processing the world that we are in right now, you need to first and foremost call back your energy. You need to put the phone down. You need to stop looking at the documents. Maybe not even look at the TV, and be with yourself or be with somebody. Have a heart-to-heart conversation. Connect to people. Have a conversation. I guess as some people would say, touch grass. Do something that you are not allowing these entities to continue to drain your energy. Because if you continue to do so, they will continue to remain in power. They will continue to manipulate and control the masses. I am going to pull an extra card for this star card. Oh, how very nice. With the star, I have strength. We have the power and the energy and the connection to overcome this. We can't switch this energy around, but it starts with the individual, you, that you cannot allow those who have gotten so much away continue to get away. Now, yes, I understand we should be rioting. We should be, throwing people off the buildings and stuff like that. I'm not trying to give ideas, but I understand people are feeling a certain way. But before we can do all of these actions, we have to collect ourselves. And I also believe that God has a plan for us on how to overcome these energies. Because I do feel like right now, a lot of us are like up against the corner. If you do or move or say certain things, they will come and strike you down. So my advice right now for the collective is to regain your strength, call back your energy, and ground yourself, and start talking to people, about this situation. Like, be aware of it, but don't be overconsumed by it. Because next I have is the Seven of Cups. So with the Seven of Cups, it's a lot to take in. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's showing, like, with the star in the reverse and the Seven of Cups, it is hard to process what is even real, what is going on. Like, how do I even go about life knowing what I know? Trust the process. With the Seven of Cups, it is said that in the Tarot, the Seven of Cups is a process of alchemy, turning lead into gold or turning energy into something solid. And right now, you need to allow yourself to process these energies. It's easier said than done, but you also have your divine team, your ancestors, and God to come and guide you to help process these energies that you're witnessing, that you're reading, that you are hearing. Hold on. Yeah, something was telling me, because some things in there are how can I say that, Spirit is telling me that in some of these files, some of it is half truths, meaning what you are reading is true, but not the full story. And that's why we also have the other emails and files that are being hidden from the collective, because there is more to the story, and I believe it's a lot more darker and sinister. So it is best right now to process what you can now, because there is more to come. And again, you don't want to be overwhelmed. I mean, it's already overwhelming enough what we are going through right now. So it's best that you process what you know and what you can, and work on calling back your energy and such. And then not last, next I have is the Three of Swords. A lot of heartbroken energy right now, but with this Three of Swords, however, I do see this as a positive energy, because now the collective, or at least those that are new to the collective, are realizing the hurt and the pain that they have probably felt that they have contributed. This could be someone where, someone stopped talking to somebody because they believed they were a conspiracy theorist. And now that all of this is coming out, it is just, swords through the heart. A lot of swords through the heart. Like oh, it is detrimental to the heart and the mind, these energies. But you can alchemize this energy. That's also why we have the Seven of Cups here. You will be able to alchemize these Three of Swords, because we also have the Magician here. You will have all of the knowledge, the resources, and the facts, everything that you need to start correcting these energies and rebalancing yourself. Understand, feel what you need to feel, the guilt, the anger, the sadness. Feel what you need to feel, and then go back to focusing on claiming back your energy, discovering your powers and your talents. I'm going to pull an extra card for the Three of Swords, because you will use these swords to strike down these entities that have been plaguing the collective for a long time. Oh, very nice. So with the Three of Swords, I have the Magician again. And we got two magicians now. So definitely, especially with this card here, the magician has mastered their talents. They have mastered their mind. They have mastered their emotions. They have mastered their thoughts. They're able to control the reality that they make, not by what others want you to do or want you to have. You are the master of your reality. You are the master of creating and escaping this illusion that others have placed you in and placed the collective in. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out if the sound I'm hearing, if it's like from a TV or from the pot. Excuse me, I got distracted. I love that we have the two magicians here, because it goes back to also what I was saying earlier. We're going to have to fight this dark magic with magic. I'm not going to suggest that we start looking into the dark arts ourselves. There's a reason, we're looking at this and we're witnessing this. This is why you do not give yourself to the dark forces. This is why you do not go and make pacts with demons and such, because what is in the dark will come to light. This is a great time to really start bringing in the healers, the defenders, the channelers, those who know how to research and bring information to light. This is a good time for those to, in mediumships, speak to the ones who have passed and ask for their guidance. This is definitely a great time for the healers to come in and help heal the mind and the soul. This is also a great time for the protectors and the defenders to come into action and help especially protect the innocent. Last I have is the Page of Swords. This is pretty good energy for the ending of this reading. This is novice energy, meaning we will come out of this chaotic, frustrating, depressing energy. We will be able to face what needs to be faced. The new outcast will become the new society, because now we are aware of the evils and how we can defend ourselves and others from those evils. Now again, it's going to be novice energy, so this is going to take some time to master and practice, because remember, with the magician, like, you do not learn everything in one night. You have to take your time and build up your knowledge, build up your strength, build up your resilience, build up your disciplines, and you will be able to master all of that. But with the Page of Swords here, a lot of you are definitely ready to seize back your energy, to seize back control of your life, to seize back the time, the energy that has been drained from others for many years, for even centuries. Let us get a quick card for the Page of Swords. Oh, okay, interesting. I will take this then, Spirit. Now, it's funny. So with the Page of Swords, I have the Seven of Swords. Come on. Sorry, weird glare. And then I have the Seven of Cups. I had received these two cards when I was doing a small reading about the Epstein files. You can definitely take a look at that reading if you want. But basically, what I saw with these two sevens, double sevens, meaning like I see the double sevens as changes going in our favor. So whatever plans or schemes that the elite or the dark collective has for us, they are either going to get caught in their own traps that they're trying to set for us, or they're going to be distracted trying to save whatever riches and gains that they have caused, that they have gained. They're going to get distracted by trying to save their riches and gains, that they're not going to realize that the evil that they have summoned is going to actually come after them. And I feel like this will happen when the collective starts switching their energy, taking it back, focusing on themselves, helping others, and not giving into the elite or the dark collective. And again, this feels more like when there are enough outcasts out of society, that's when the new society comes in. Not, I guess, how can I say this, Spirit? Okay, never mind. Lost my train of thought. Crap. Anyway, going back to these double sevens. The more of you that take back your energy, embrace who you are, and acknowledge the reality that you are in that needs to change, the faster this energy can come in to correct the elite and the dark collective. And then for the star card here to be in reverse, we can start healing and regaining ourselves as a real society full of humanity, full of light, full of power. Let's wrap up this reading with some final messages from the Clow. See what the Clow has to say about this. Okay. Let's just move this right here. And first card that I have is the Shield. And then we have the Bubbles. The Shield, I love that this is here. And especially this is from Matangi. She is giving an extra protection for the collective during this time. So even though you are feeling overwhelmed and, feel oppressed and almost going in a spiraling energy, she is protecting you because, again, she has seen all sorts of worst parts of humanity, Kali and all her, what's the word I'm looking for? Kali and all of her avatars, they have definitely seen and worked with the worst of humanity that can come to be. So she understands where everyone is heading towards to. So she is putting an extra protection. This is also extra protection from our divine teams, from our ancestors and God, because they knew this was coming. They knew that eventually, again, whatever is in the darkness will come into light, and more will be coming into light. So I will make the suggestion that right now you should also not only be calling your energy back, but also putting a lot of protection in your home. Whatever you do, whatever you follow, religion, spiritual deities, saints, angels, whatever you work with, you need to summon the protection. Summon their protection. Summon their shielding around you, around your loved ones, and around your home. And then with the bubbles. Now, this is going to be important because with the bubbles, this is an energy to remind you to have fun in life. Make the time to get yourself grounded. Then we'll make the time to go after those who have worked in the dark, and then take the time to celebrate and have a good time. This may sound kind of weird or not the time to do so, but I do believe that this is a good time for humanity because we are finally waking up and realizing the evils that have been manipulating us for so long. I was saying, like to my mother, that I did not think in my lifetime I will witness all of this being exposed. And even though there's more that needs to be exposed, the fact that we're seeing all of this, the fact that so many things have been confirmed and so many, truths are coming into light, I will take that as a victory for humanity. Yes, I know it seems very calculative, very manipulative at the time, but we can take this energy and manipulate it into our own favor. That's why we have the two magicians here. We have to master manipulating their evil energy for our gains. And with the bubbles, that's why it's important that we continue to have fun. So, because the elites, the dark collective, if they keep seeing us in darkness, in depression, in sadness, that's when they continue to drain and drain and drain. But if we're busy having a good time, living life, helping one another, that's going to drive them crazy because it's like, I got all of this and you dare to still be happy? Yes, I'm going to be happy because you know what? I am free from the grip of the evil. So continue to have a good time, but also make sure that you're making the time to discipline yourself, getting in touch with your spiritual powers, practicing your magic, and we will be all coming together to deal with this energy how God wants us to deal with it. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Please give it a like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more insight and messages. I would truly appreciate it, and it will give tremendous support to my channel. And thank you to the new and current viewers and subscribers for coming back to hear these messages. I hope my reading is giving you the insight, clarity, and answers that you need during this time. And if you feel that this reading did not resonate, no worries. Feel free to check out the other readings on my channel. There's definitely a message for you. So my collective, I would say if there's also someone or something that you are trying to connect or practice, I would recommend Matangi or one of the avatars of Kali, because you definitely, for some of you that need some type of start, you should work with a deity or an energy where it is familiar with this darkness and is there to help guide us out of the darkness and going back into our truth and power. We have all of the power that we need. We just need to remember how to use it, how to connect to it. Give me a second. Be patient with yourself. Be patient during this time. I understand you want to spill blood immediately, and I cannot argue with that. Many feel the same way. But like I said, God has a plan for us. And God wants us to handle this energy accordingly to how we treat ourselves, how we work with our inner power, and how we work with others. So be patient, because remember, a lot of people are waking up and are new to the collective. They're starting to experience this outcast energy. So it is up to us, those who have been aware of this energy and those who work with, other magical deities and such. We need to help guide those into guide them into their path, to their direction, to their way. It might be easy for others and such, but we have to be patient during this time. But I guarantee that this is not going to last long. Right now, the enemy feels like they have a leg up against the collective. And you know what? We should keep it that way. Let them feel that they are controlling us still. Let them feel like they won. You only won the battle. You have not won the war yet. And the way I'm seeing it, the way that this war is going to end is not going to be in well favor of the elite or the dark collective. Because remember, the evil that you have summoned, it will come back to collect you. And I have said this in my last reading, especially now that people are aware and exposed to the dark practices that these people have done. That entity or those entities lose energy. And once they lose energy and you cannot get it back, they're going to have to collect that energy from somewhere else. And guess what? It's going to be from the elite. So be patient. Everything is going to work out on our behalves. And with that said, stay safe and have a good day.